Hi, welcome to this chart patterns video on the head and shoulders. I'm going to be talking to you about what it is and how to identify it on a chart. Right now we're looking at the spiders, SPY, on a 1-minute chart. You look back here, the spiders was on a downtrend. And then right down in this area here, just before a reversal, we can see a head and shoulders pattern. Let me draw a quick trend line here. Basically you have two shoulders, one right here, the left shoulder, and then the right shoulder is here, with the head is right here. And then this trend line is drawn along what they call the neckline. And once that neckline is broken, sometimes, many times actually, it comes back and tests it. But once that neckline is broken, that's the confirmation of the head and shoulders pattern. So you can see on the downtrend, it made a head and shoulders pattern and then broke through the neckline, came back to test, and then continued up. You can also watch the volume in a head and shoulders pattern. Usually you will have gradually decreasing volume. So on the first shoulder here, you can see we have a high volume, and then on the head we have less volume, and then you can see here on the last shoulder we have even less volume. So this push down here to new lows was done on lighter volume, which is an indicator that the trend may not hold. And then the right shoulder had the least amount of volume before it turned back up, broke the neckline, and started an uptrend. Let's take a look at another chart. Now you can see the head and shoulders on all different time frames. This here is a weekly chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And let me draw a trend line here. You can see we have a downtrend in the Dow Jones. We have a left shoulder here, comes down, forms the head here, and then we have the right shoulder before the break of the neckline and the trend reversing and turning back up. So again, we have the left shoulder here, the head here, the right shoulder here, and this trend line marks the neckline where the neckline was broke and the trend continued up. Let's take a look at another chart. Here we're looking at a chart on Microsoft, symbol MSFT, a 3-minute chart. You can see we've been on an uptrend here, carried over from yesterday. Let's draw a trend line. Here we have the left shoulder, and we have the head here, comes down, and then forms the right shoulder before the break of the neckline. A lot of times what you can do when you trade these is enter an order on the break of the neckline, and your target can be whatever this distance here between the head and the neckline. If you take that same measured area, that would be your target. So you have head and shoulders forming here. You enter at the break of the neckline, and this distance here will be your target. So your target would be right in this area here, which you can see your target was hit. Let's take a look at one more chart. Okay, we're looking at a 3-minute chart on Starbucks, symbol SBUX. We have an uptrend here, formed a left shoulder here. Let's draw a line across this neckline here. So we have the left shoulder here, the head here, and the right shoulder here. And here's your trigger point, the break of the neckline. Look, it came back to test that neckline and then continued down. Once again, you can have a target. Whatever this distance is here, that's your target. Let's see where that lines up here. So you could enter here with the target of this line, which you could see was filled over on this side. Some of these head and shoulders patterns don't stand out very obviously, but if you begin to study this pattern, you'll be able to notice it more frequently because it does happen on all time frames, and it gives a good indication of a trend reversal. So let's do a quick review on the head and shoulders pattern. It usually is a reversal pattern. It consists of 3 peaks or troughs, which includes a head and 2 shoulders. The break of the neckline confirms the pattern, and it can be seen on all time frames. Sign up to receive our free Exact Trades movers and shakers at our website, www.exacttrades.com. And while you're there, check out our full library of products and services.